Hello, everyone. It's Ashton Faye with Keller Williams Real Estate. We're here for Keys, Chaos, and Client Tales. And today I have Kira, our loan officer, with us. She's with Motto Mortgage. She's absolutely fantastic. She helped me purchase my own home a few years ago. I love her. She's one of my favorite
Oh,
lenders to work with.
thanks.
So thank you for joining us, Kira.
Happy to be here. So honored, honestly.
I'm sure as a lender, you get lots of crazy chaos and client tales, and maybe some stories where there aren't keys.
Those are
Oh
not the fun. I mean, it happens, certainly. I feel like most of my stories do end up resulting in keys, but the path was much harder.
no. Yes. And
So,
usually when there's no keys, it's because the client sabotaged something,
exactly.
knowingly or unknowingly.
Which is why we have our 10 commandments
The
of
10
things to
commandments
not
of lenders.
do when
Yep.
buying a home.
All right, all right. So give me some stories as to why these 10 commandments of lenders became a thing. How did this happen?
Why? I mean, I had always heard this from my very big, first day. They were like, here's the 10 commandments of not buying a house. And I was like, okay, yeah, great. And then I experienced them. And I'm like, oh, no, no, no. You don't understand. So vitally important. But the number one most important commandment in buying a house is thou shalt not change or quit your job. And I do have a story for each of those because that's my life.
No.
So the whole idea behind these commandments is this is how you're going to be able to keep your earnest money, right? Like you're
Mhm.
putting forth this good faith deposit, telling the seller, I'm going to abide by the contract and I will not illegally break it. And if you illegally break it by doing something super silly to completely mess up your financing, your earnest money might be in danger. And we don't want that. So that's why we give you these at the very beginning. My one time that I have had somebody actually lose their earnest money, we couldn't get it back. There was no way for that to happen, was when my delightful client decided to quit her job on the day of closing. Like they're always going to do a check within 3 days of closing. Like that's just the rules. We have to. She assumed that because we had 3 days to do it, that we did it earlier. And honestly, I think they might have. And then I think they checked one more time right before. And we have every right to do that because on the day of, apparently that morning, she had gone out in a blaze of glory.
Oh
Many cuss words
no.
involved apparently. And
Oh no.
because I heard that
Security
I
on
just hear
site and
back and I just
everything.
hear they're not working anymore. We can't close this loan. And I'm like, what? So I'm immediately on the phone, like, hey, client, hey, friend. You know that job you just apparently aren't with? You need to beg on your knees for your job back for another 24 hours because this isn't closing. And apparently, no, that's when the whole story comes out that it was bad and they're terrible human beings and just all the words flying, refused to
Oh
go back and
no.
get the job back or ask for any kind of a favor at that point, which I understand. I understand that our emotions get the best of us. That's kind of why earnest money is the way it is so that you will call in sick that day instead. But use a vacation day. You've got options. Stay employed though. That part's the most important. Because in that
Just stay
case,
employed. Just
yeah,
just keep the income coming in.
right. Because she not only lost the house, but she lost her $4,000 in earnest money, and the seller's entitled to it because they took their house off the market for 30 days. They did everything right. They were expecting a check that afternoon.
Yeah. They've already
They did their
scheduled the
research.
movers. They've already moved out of the house. They've already bought a new house. Everything's already happened for them.
And now it's starting all over for them. And our clients are out the house as well. So thou shalt stay employed.
What a horrible scenario for everyone involved, though. I mean, the buyer lost their job, lost their house, lost their deposit, but the sellers lost much more than $4,000, I'm sure.
Right.
And all of the moving costs and the mortgage payment that they're going to have to continue to pay while the house sits back on the market. And things that come back on the market have kind of a red flag stigma attached to them. So once something comes back on the market in a failed scenario, buyers are more reluctant to offer a full price offer for it.
Man, I didn't even think about that side.
because there's something wrong with the house if the other buyer pulled out.
I've seen like agent remarks, or I've heard, I guess I don't get to see them. Things like buyer backed out,
Mhm.
like things that they're trying to like mitigate that potential expense. But I
Yeah.
also think that some agents will just say things like that to try, even if it's not true. And so no matter what, you're always going to be thinking, right?
Yeah. It's always going to be in the back of your mind. So the seller's agent loses a lot of negotiation powers when a property goes back on the market. So a seller's out on the convenience, but there's a lot more too. So,
Yeah.
oh man, that's hard.
That one was the worst. I felt so bad. That one was the one that died. I very recently closed one though where they changed jobs in the middle.
Close that one,
We did close. We did.
but
That
it
was
got.
fun because like have pay stubs, they've been there for a while, like
Mhm.
everything is checking out and we do again that verification of employment. So we not only take your pay stubs, but we're going to go and verify that the pay stubs are real
Yep.
and that we're expected to continue working. So like almost every time it says question of expected continued employment, yes, no. Like okay, like we assume the answer is yes unless told otherwise. And in
Mhm.
this case it said last day is in March of this year. Like looking at this like uh-huh, cool, 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 cool. So in less than a month, we're not going to have a job anymore and we're under contract and expecting to close soon. So of course that first phone call is like, so what's the plan? Like what are we, did we quit? Is there a new job lined up? Like what's going on? Because this has huge potential of absolutely destroying everything. Because let's say they quit and decided to be a new business owner.
Mhm.
You can't buy a house for 2 years typically with that because we have to know if you're any good at being a business owner. So
If you're
that
gonna make
one
any
would
money
probably have
doing that.
kinda killed it. So it turns out we did have another job lined up. Yay, thank goodness. W-2 job. Thank goodness.
Thank God.
So I'm like, okay, the challenge is we are closing in February and this new job doesn't start until March. What
Right.
income am I allowed to use? And am I allowed to use like because I would like to use the new income. We're getting paid a lot more money. We like more money. Sounds great. It's going to be a great like deal for everything if we can. So all right, conventional loan will allow you as long as you start and you get your first paycheck before the first mortgage payment is due. So keep in mind, mortgages are paid in arrears. So anybody closing in February, their first mortgage payment is not going to be due until April 1st because April is paying for the month of March and your closing costs cover for the remainder of whatever month you're living in right now. And thankfully, new job starting in March. Like, okay, when do the paychecks come out? The 30th. Okay, good. One day apart. We're good. We're good. On Fannie Mae. And it turns out that they are fine with hourly as long as we know exactly what it is and there's no contingencies. So this if you have probationary periods, all right, we might let you go in the first 60 days because of whatever reason this plan doesn't work.
That's not gonna work.
We had to get their entire offer letter, the contract to verify there were no contingencies, and I still had to have her future boss write a letter stating that there are no contingencies in very specific words,
Wow.
but we were able to use the new income. So that was actually pretty cool. And overall, like worked out amazing. It was only like mild heart attack to the loan officer.
Yeah, and the agent on the other side, I'm sure. Anytime a
The
loan
agent on the other
officer.
side didn't know. Sorry.
Okay, not
The
the other side.
buyer's agent knew,
Your
but like
side.
until we have a solution, because like, all right, trouble in paradise, but we're gonna find the solutions before we're gonna like throw up any red flags because we closed on time. Like everything was fine. It just like the how close that came to not being fine.
As an agent, as soon as the lender says, "Hey, we've got a concern," that's a heart attack. That's scary.
Mhm,
That's a
mhm.
deal that might not survive.
And you're probably immediately thinking like, can I even get their earnest money check back? Can we do like what can we do?
What are my outs? What are my protections for my client's deposit? Like, what can we do to salvage the deal, first of all, because they wanted the house, right? So the
Mhm.
first priority is what can we do to salvage the deal? Because they want the house. That's why we made an offer. If we can't salvage the deal and we have to walk away, worst case scenario, how do we protect the deposit? How do we make
Right?
sure that my buyer isn't losing money as well as losing their dream house?
Yeah. Well, so often, like the financing contingency can be used unless you quit your job on the day of closing. We are already past the point of called clear to close where everybody has already approved of
Mhm,
everything and then you did a silly thing. This
mhm.
one, I don't know how that would have ended, honestly, but I like that it ended with keys in our hands. That's my favorite part.
Yay! Yay! That's the best way for it to end.
Absolutely.
Keys. Keys and a referral, please. Keys and a referral. Thank you.
Yeah. Multiple, actually. So while we're at it, because I was so
Multiple
good.
referrals.
Multiple. Everyone you know.
Well, we're gonna definitely have to have you back for more commandments, I think. I
Absolutely.
need to hear all of the chaos that happens in the lender world because I get a lot of the chaos. I'm meeting with an escrow officer next week to get his side of the chaos. And honestly, some of the stories I've heard from him, I'm like, oh my gosh. Some of the stories I've heard from you, gosh, I thought I had some crazy stories. But you guys see an entirely different side of real estate. You've got your
Mhm.
own fun stories. I'm super excited.
Love it.
So thank you so much for joining us, Kara. We'll definitely have you back. Maybe we can do this as like a running series once a
I mean,
week.
we've got 10 commandments here and probably multiple stories for all of them.
There we go. Woo!
Woo!
Thank
Stay
you, Kara.
tuned.
You guys should absolutely follow me on all of the social platforms. Whatever's your home plate, I will be there.
Because
Ashton for
Ashton
home.
is ready when you're ready.
That's right. I'm there under Ashton for Homes or Ashton Faye on all of your social media platforms. So go like me, find me. And if you have any questions, you're ready to talk real estate. My phone number is 425-911-1620. Kira is happy to provide mortgage information for you if you need to talk about finding or funding your home. I will help you
Mhm.
find your home.
Or
Kira
if
will
your
help you
loan's going
fund your
sideways and you
home.
need someone to rescue it, give me a call, 520-245-2366.
Awesome. Thank you, Kara. And even though she's got an out of state phone number, she is actually here
Yes, I'm here
local
in local.
in Western Washington. She's like less than 5 minutes down the road from me. So thank you so much. And we will see you next time. Bye.